While playing through Super Mario 64, I couldn't help but let my mind wander to an idea for a challenge floating around in my head. What if I couldn't kill things? Could I beat Super Mario 64 without killing anything or anyone? Is the game perfectly pacifistable? If not, what is the fewest amount of kills I could rack up in a playthrough? Too many questions on the topic started to flood my brain, and it was time to dive down and find the answers. Before getting into the thick of it, I got some ground rules to make clear. Let's start with the things that are not allowed. First, killing enemies. I feel like that's kinda a given, all things considered. On top of that, I cannot indefinitely defeat enemies. Let's be honest, this is a lighthearted Mario game. Am I really killing anything here? To rule out any question on that technicality, if I defeat a specific enemy and they don't reappear later in this game, or they don't escape on their own accord, it counts against me. Also, just because an enemy respawns doesn't mean I can kill it in the first place. This rule is specifically contained within this game, so if I defeat a unique villain and they don't reappear later in Super Mario 64 specifically, it counts against me. Doesn't matter if they show up in later Mario games. If I kill an enemy by accident, it counts against me. Finally, ghosts and robots may not technically be alive, so it's not technically murder. True, but that logic doesn't fly here. If I take down a robot or a ghost enemy, it counts against me. How about a couple rules that actually play in my favor? First off, if Mario takes out an enemy in a cutscene, not during actual gameplay, it won't count against me. I'm not even sure there are any cutscenes that would activate this rule in this game, but I'm just throwing out there to cover myself. More importantly, as long as I'm not the one who delivered the killing blow, my hands are clean. That means I can trick enemies into stage hazards, killing themselves, or killing each other. So long as I didn't activate a hazard, like flipping a switch to open a death pit or something, that's murder. But everything else is fair game. The stage is set, let's see how the run went. In order to progress to the end of Super Mario 64, I had to collect a total of 70 power stars scattered throughout the game. Mario 64 is set up in such a way that the player can run around and unlock more worlds to explore dependent on how many stars they currently have. Before starting the minimal murder challenge, I knew this was going to require some planning. Making a roadmap was key, because I had to be aware of what stars I could go for at any time that didn't involve killing any enemies. I honestly figured the beginning of the game would be the hardest part, because I had so few options for star objectives to choose from. Once I got a plethora of maps to open up and more options available, things would ease up. We're not there yet though, I'm limited to whatever is available on the first map, Bob-omb Battlefield. I knew right off the bat I wanted to avoid the first star since that involved taking out Big Bob-omb. Since I wasn't taking out Big Bob-omb, I also couldn't do the race to the top of the mountain with Koopa the Quick for star number 2. Well, I guess star number 3 it is. I can blast out of a cannon to a floating island without causing casualties. Except that I can't. Turns out the little pink Bob-ombs don't activate the cannon I need to use until after defeating Big Bob-omb. You can talk to them, sure, but all they do is give pointers for the boss fight that I'm avoiding. Well, I don't have any other way to that floating island, so star 3 is now out of the question. I decided to go for star 4 and collect all 8 red coins scattered around the map. That doesn't require any bloodshed, so I went and got 7 out of the 8 red coins, was feeling pretty good about myself. Until I realized the 8th red coin was on the floating island. The floating island I couldn't get to without the cannon. The cannon I couldn't use until defeating Big Bob-omb. And on top of that, star number 5 required the wing cap, which is a power-up that I didn't get until having at least 10 power stars. God damn it, I was starting to get worried. Feeling desperate, I'd have to take a life to continue this challenge. I also figure now is a good time to address the 100 coin stars obtainable on each map. I treated these as an absolute do-or-die option when there was nowhere else to turn. They're my least favorite stars to go for in the game to begin with, and generally a significant portion of the coin income required for these type of stars involves killing enemies. My solace finally came in the form of star number 6 behind Chain Chomp's gate. Not only could I avoid killing, I was in fact setting a trapped animal free and was rewarded with my first star as a result. Good thing too, because Bob-omb Battlefield was officially exhausted for now, but that 1 star was all I needed to get into Whomp's Fortress and a new batch of stars to work towards. Star number 1 and 2 here were a pretty similar story to Bob-omb Battlefield. The first star required beating a boss, King Whomp, and the second star was a climbing course that wasn't accessible until after beating King Whomp. At level start, I tried to wake the owl to ride up to the cage star, but the owl wasn't there. I can only assume I needed to get the early stars for him to be present in the tree. I know there's some nifty jump tricks that can be done to get into the cage without the owl, but I suck too much to attempt some jazzy shit like that. Tried to activate the cannon to get the star for launching into the blue, but again the pink Bob-omb wasn't around to raise the cannon for me. Not that it really mattered in the end, I was actually able to claim that star by jumping down from above, and with a well-timed aerial boot punch, I could fling forward to the ledge where the star was. On top of that, all 8 red coins at Womp's Fortress were easily collectible with nothing more than just a well-placed long jump where needed. Blast away the wall star is possible from what I understand, even without the cannon, but I didn't know the setup to get it by clipping through the wall, so we'll just put that in the mental back pocket for now, and head out from Womp's Fortress. With a total of 3 stars now, it felt like I was barely holding my head above the water of available options. However, 3 stars got me access to 2 new maps, Jolly Roger Bay and Cool Cool Mountain. Now opportunities were opening up. I even got a free star from the secret aquarium, and things only looked up from there. Plundering the sunken ship was completely doable, even though every fiber of my being wanted to kill that damn eel for how much it trolled me at the start. The next stars, Can the Eel Come Out and Play, Treasure of the Ocean Cave, Red Coins on the Ship Afloat, and Blast to the Stone Pillar can all be done. Pretty much every Jolly Roger Bay star except for the 6th one through the jet stream. That's not even because I have to kill anything, I just don't have the metal cap needed to grab it yet. Another one to come back to later. Cool Cool Mountain was even better for this run. All 6 main stars could be obtained without killing anything. In fact, this place had so few enemies to it in general, I really just played through it casually. The minimal murder challenge didn't even really come into play. Well, there was this one part at the end of Wall Kicks Will Work, where I had to dodge these 2 floaty flower guys on this narrow ledge, but nothing a couple well-placed jumps couldn't solve. I'm up to 15 stars and on to Big Boo's Haunt. Maybe I'm not going to Big Boo's Haunt. To even access this area, I have to kill a boo to get in. Not only that, but just based off memory, I remember 4 stars that for sure require killing something. And the first star requires literally hunting a group of ghosts throughout the mansion. So even if I wanted to go to Boo's Big Haunt, I'd immediately spike my kill count through the roof. It went on the back burner as a last resort. Like, I literally can't beat the game and have gotten every other possible star type of last resort. Having cleared the 10 star requirement, I was able to go unlock the wing cap and grab the star for gliding around for the 8 red coins. Well, that's when I had a happy realization. Now with the wing cap unlocked, I could access that floating island back in Bob-omb Battlefield without having to kill Big Bob-omb to open the cannons. So that at least netted me the floating island star and the 8 red coins. Flying through the rings with the wing cap was still out of the question, as I still needed the cannon to get the proper elevation. But hey, with 17 stars and still not a single kill under my belt, I went into the first Bowser course triumphantly. Since Bowser shows up again later, there's no shame in taking him down this fight, and getting another star from the red coins in his course. This also opened up 3 more maps for star hunting, which made me feel very comfortable, and considerably less fearful of a star famine. I needed to rack up 12 more stars now to unlock the next group of areas. I started by snagging Mips for a start, and jumped into Shifting Sandland, another gold mine for this challenge. I could get 5 of the 6 main stars murderless with ease, only excluding the mission stand atop the 4 pillars because it ends with defeating the boss Irock. On to Lethal Lava Land for 4 more doable stars, avoiding the 2 that require kicking bullies into the lava. Let's be honest, not only is that murder, that's an exceptionally brutal murder on top of that. I grabbed a star from the secret toad hiding near Hazy Maze Cave, and then took a dive into Hazy Maze Cave. I unlocked the metal cap to use for future stages while grabbing the 8 red coins in the metal cap cave, and upon hunting stars in Hazy Maze Cave, I realized I could grab all 6 main stars again. No bosses, no enemy hunting, just easy exploring. Afterwards, I got the Vanish Cap unlocked, and the 8 red coins on the Vanish Cap course. Went to Peach's secret slide for 2 more stars. Went back to Jolly Roger now that I had the metal cap for that last star in the jet stream. I gotta admit, at this point, I was just over the halfway point of the final goal, and I had so many options for stars opening up. I kinda just felt like I was playing Mario 64 casually. The no murder rule hardly felt like it was an obstacle for me anymore. Hell, not only did I get all 6 main stars at Dire Docks also, but all of the enemies there were underwater, and I genuinely think you can't get a kill here even if you wanted to. The deadly sea creatures were more like environmental hazards than enemy combat encounters. A second battle with Bowser went down, but again he showed up once more later in the game, so not a kill. At this rate the challenge became a game of math. The only 2 star checks between now and the end of the game was a 50 star door to access the last segment of the castle, and the final 70 star check to get to the final Bowser encounter. After Dire Docks, I was already sitting at 46 stars, with 4 new maps and extra castle stars to boot. A second secret toad brought us up to 47. Snowman's Land doesn't do too much to help. I could get the star on Snowman's big head and in the deep freeze, but that's pretty much it. Everything else required killing an ice bully or stomping on this flower head to get up on a ledge for a star. or red coins, or a shell needed to surf up to the igloo for the final star. So we're at 49 now. All 6 main stars in Wet Dry World are peaceful grabs, and likewise for all those at Tall Tall Mountain. 61 power stars at this rate, and only 9 stars to go, and everything is opened up by now. A couple of things to note on Tiny Huge Island. Obviously the mission asking me to kill a bunch of piranha plants was off the table, but everything else was seemingly fine, though I must admit I did not attempt to start the rematch with Koopa the Quick Star. I'm not certain if it's possible since I never raced Koopa the Quick in the first place in Bob-omb Battlefield, due to never defeating Big Bob-omb. Fun fact, the Wiggler boss here is the only fight that can be done and not add a kill to the count. Wiggler doesn't explode or disappear upon defeat like every other boss in the game, he kinda just hangs around and offers up the star. Playing devil's advocate at this point and assuming the rematch with Koopa the Quick isn't doable, there's still nothing to fret over. We got 65 out of the 70 needed stars. Another chase with Nips the Rabbit, the final secret toad, and more red coin collecting with the wing cap brings us to 68. Then you got all 6 stars from TikTok Clock and all 6 from Rainbow Ride, keeping our hands blood free. We're well over the star amount needed as we go into the final bout with Bowser. Now some may think to argue that this final fight with Bowser should be the one and only mandatory murder on the count, because he doesn't reappear later in this game specifically. Remember, future games don't count per the rules at the beginning of the video. And that's all true, but Bowser clearly states in the last bit of dialogue that he's out of here and just wait until next time before vanishing away. Honestly, in that context, I was under the impression that Bowser made his own escape, and thus, I'm not counting it. Is it convenient for me? Yes, but I say it with genuine merit and reasoning, which means we now have an answer to the question at hand. What is the minimal amount of murders you can achieve in a Super Mario 64 playthrough? 0 murders! This game gets a perfectly pacifistable award. Overall, I thought this minimal murder challenge would lead to more difficulty, and that I'd need to carefully route the types of levels I would go through, which this did seem like the case early on, but once more and more options became available as the game progressed, I was essentially just playing Super Mario 64 normally. Still, I had fun with the concept of this challenge and would love to try it out on so many other games in the future. Let me know in the comments below what games I should try to do a minimal murder challenge on next. If you like this video, throw me a thumbs up, click that subscribe button for more. I love you guys for doing so. See ya.